Hello, folks. It's me, the old Deplorable Basket Case here. Now, what I'm going to say isn't any groundbreaking revelation. It's not any great secret, and I'm sure there are people who've said this before, but there are people who don't know this. So, Yasser Arafat was most definitely, certainly, killed by a Palestinian. Just in case you don't know, his body was exhumed and largely at the pressings of Al Jazeera and Yasser Arafat's family. And samples were taken and given to several international teams for various testing, and it was found that he had been, in fact, been poisoned with an application of polonium-210, which is a radioactive, very deadly substance. And it is very good for assassination because it's used very rarely, and so it's almost never tested for. Now, in Yasser Arafat's final days, he was essentially in house arrest in a two-room apartment, basically under siege by Israeli forces. And so there are some people who claim that Israel would have been very easy for Israelis to poison Yasser Arafat and kill him. Except that no Israelis were actually allowed to be near him. Okay, he was surrounded by Israeli forces, but none of them were actually anywhere in the room with him. And whoever gave him the poison had to be in the room with him, had to be right there, able to touch him or touch his food just before he got it, because no one else there had the symptoms or died, only Yasser Arafat. And the only people there, as far as I know, I mean, it's possible there was someone there who I don't know about, but everybody there was Palestinians. So, ergo, whoever it was that actually killed Yasser Arafat was a Palestinian. Now, does this mean that he could not have been assassinated at the behest of Israel? No, it's possible. I don't think so, though. By that point, Yasser Arafat was really not a threat to Israel. And Israel had not assassinated him before then. So, you're looking at Israeli leaders taking a huge risk. Okay, if they were caught trying to bring poison into Yasser Arafat's apartments, that would be bad. That would be really bad for them. So, why take that risk after Yasser Arafat had stopped being such a great threat? It makes no sense. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying that absolutely didn't happen, but it makes no sense to me. What makes a lot more sense is that one of Yasser Arafat's Palestinian enemies killed him. Firstly, because it would be a lot easier for Palestinian leaders to get an operative into Yasser Arafat's apartments. And think about it. Which is more likely, that a Palestinian would assassinate Yasser Arafat for Israeli reasons or for Palestinian reasons? One is more likely than the other. And Israel is not the only source of polonium-210 in the world. Anyone with access to a nuclear power plant would have access to polonium-210, and there were and are a lot of countries that have interests in things going on around here with access to polonium-210. Russia, America, France. Speaking of France, their behavior around the whole Yasser Arafat death, the situation and the investigation into his death is a little suspect. Um, French authorities destroyed a great deal of evidence, such as biological samples from his body when he was in treatment in France, which is actually broke some pretty major French laws in order to destroy the evidence. And I don't see why they would do that if they didn't have something to hide. Again, I'm not saying the French the French did kill Yasser Arafat, but I'm saying that is very suspicious. Now, Yasser Arafat did have a lot of Palestinian enemies. That is a fact. There were a lot of people he did stuff to on his way to power and in the course of holding on to his power. And while he really was not much of a threat to Israel anymore, he was a threat to at least some of his Palestinian enemies. Also, honor killings, revenge killings are very common in Palestinian society. So, food for thought. There are a lot of people who think, okay, Israel was Yasser Arafat's enemy. Yasser Arafat was assassinated, therefore Israel must have done it, which is not true. There's a lot of other people involved. There are a lot of other factors involved. Food for thought. Think about it. As of yet, there is no definitive evidence saying who actuated his death, who ordered it, who provided the polonium-210. But there's one irrefutable fact that it was a Palestinian who actually poisoned Yasser Arafat, who put the poison where it would kill him. So that's all. Thanks for watching. Please comment below with anything that you have to say. I'd really like to know what you think. And have a good night and God bless.